Understanding macroeconomics, an overview of its concepts, history, and importance. Macroeconomics is a crucial branch of economics dedicated to understanding the broader dynamics of economies. Unlike microeconomics, which focuses on individual decisions and market mechanisms on a smaller scale, macroeconomics investigates economy-wide phenomena. This includes aspects such as inflation, unemployment rates, national income, and gross domestic product, GDP. By analyzing these interconnected factors, macroeconomics seeks to reveal how economies operate as wholes and the underlying patterns that drive growth and stability. Key elements of macroeconomics. Central questions addressed. Macroeconomics seeks to answer critical questions that impact economic policy and financial stability, such as: what causes unemployment and how can it be reduced? What factors contribute to inflation and how can it be controlled? How do governments stimulate or hinder economic growth? Understanding these questions helps economists develop predictive models which can inform policymakers, businesses, and investors on how to navigate the economic landscape effectively. Main focus areas. Macroeconomics is typically divided into two primary research areas. 1. Long-term economic growth. This focus area investigates the factors that drive an economy's ability to increase its productive capacity over time. 2. Short-term economic fluctuations. Here, the emphasis is on business cycles, periodic expansions and contractions in economic activity, along with their causes and effects. The historical context. Although the term macroeconomics was formalized in the 1940s, the core concepts have been studied since the 1700s. Influential philosophers such as Adam Smith and John Stuart Mill pondered issues that modern economists recognize as macroeconomic concerns. The field began to evolve into its current form with John Maynard Keynes' publication of the General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money in 1936. Keynes' analysis of the Great Depression laid the groundwork for modern macroeconomic thought, emphasizing the role of government intervention in stabilizing economies. As the discipline developed, various schools of thought emerged, including classical economics, predicated on self-regulating markets with flexible prices and wages. Keynesian economics advocates for active government intervention to manage aggregate demand. Monetarism emphasizes the role of governments in controlling the amount of money in circulation. Macroeconomic versus microeconomic analysis. While microeconomics focuses on individual agents like consumers and businesses, macroeconomics looks at aggregate behavior. For instance, the paradox of thrift illustrates how individual saving can lead to reduced economic growth when widespread. Both micro and macroeconomic factors influence each other, making it essential to understand their interrelations. Limitations of macroeconomics. Macroeconomic theories often operate under idealized conditions, assuming that all other factors remain constant, the concept of ceteris paribus. However, real-world complexities, including variations in taxation, regulation, and transaction costs, can challenge these assumptions. Additionally, economic behaviors can be influenced by social factors, making predictions less precise. Macroeconomic indicators and their significance. Macroeconomists utilize several key indicators to gauge economic performance, including gross domestic product, GDP measures national output and economic health. Unemployment rate indicates the level of joblessness and labor market health. Inflation rate reflects price stability and purchasing power changes. These indicators provide insights into potential government action and guide business decisions to mitigate risks associated with economic fluctuations. The business cycle. Macroeconomic activity does not remain constant, it experiences cycles of expansion, peak, recession, and trough. The National Bureau of Economic Research, NBR, monitors these cycles, informing the public about economic conditions and guiding potential interventions. Influencing macroeconomic performance. To manage macroeconomic performance, entities like the U.S. Federal Reserve implement monetary policy. Key tools include adjusting the federal funds rate, influences borrowing costs and spending. Open market operations, modifies the supply of money by buying and selling government securities. Reserve requirements, dictates how much banks must hold in reserve, impacting their lending capabilities. These strategies aim to stabilize the economy, boost employment, and control inflation. Importance of macroeconomics. Understanding macroeconomics is vital for governments, businesses, and investors alike. For governments, insights enable policymakers to implement strategies that promote stable economic growth, manage inflation, and reduce unemployment. For businesses, macroeconomic forecasts inform strategic planning and market positioning. For investors, knowledge of macroeconomic conditions allows for better asset allocation and risk management. Conclusion. Macroeconomics serves as a vital framework for analyzing the performance and potential of entire economies. Through studying aggregate economic indicators, examining historical contexts, and understanding diverse theories, stakeholders can make informed decisions that foster growth and stability. The discipline is not without its complexities and limitations, yet it remains an essential area of study with far-reaching implications for policymakers, business leaders, and investors alike.